Let's talk about white privilege. I am a heterosexual white male. I'm not saying white people don't feel privilege, but it's all about individual. There are probably, most white people I talk to say don't know what the people are talking about. When people say, oh yeah, you experience white privilege. Me, I've been to little people like, oh buddy, if I mention going to college, they're like, yeah, buddy, like I can't handle it. I was in an adult group home. I tried suicide because I thought my life was not going to get better. Now, I'm a proud white heterosexual male. I just don't like white chicks. Because physical attraction. But people are always like, oh, Phil, like, oh, buddy, you know. Oh, buddy. And if after 2 hours at home, I worked at something like, hey, buddy, you want to go home? If I mentioned college, like, yeah, buddy, they never helped me go to college. I was rejected from the military. When I tried driving, they wouldn't allow that with me. I was once in a reservation. I was just walking. Some cop pulled me over. Starts talking to me. And I was like, I'm just here because my mom's in Ville. My mom had a job in Ville. And kind of looks at me. We're talking. Before he let that goes, we don't see many white people here. An American cop, like, I didn't even mention his race to him. Like, yeah, this is her race, whatever, you know. I have been belittled. I have been rejected. I have been ostracized. When I started working, they're like, yeah, buddy, go home. The military rejected me. When I tried driving, people were like, you can't drive, you know. You can't handle life and relationship. You're going to go to the group home type thing. So bottom line is, I see, yeah, I get disability. The food stamps, and that's kind of the thing in the past. I was coming up in Montana, and like New Mexico people are like, why don't you drive, blah, 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 why don't you get a job, blah, blah. I've been looking for a job, I have not found a job. But people have belittled me, like, treat me like less than, dumber. And the thing that it is, it was only white people, black, Native Americans, whatever, Hispanics, whatever, they all treat me like this. Like, oh, Phil. Yeah, my parents were abusive. Now I gotta admit, in the past, white people have been enslaved too. You look at the history of white people getting took from Europe to North Africa. Irish were persecuted by the English. Even in America, the adulterous slaves were first Irish that were held down by French and English. People I've been rejected from the military, I've been belittled, I have been put down. Now I'm not saying that white people don't, and I'm not saying black, like I said, we've all been stereotyped, we've all been labeled, we've all stereotyped, we've all been mislabeled, we've all been persecuted and have been persecuted against a group or individual. We've all been told to shut up. So to say I sit there and say I have white privilege, does this sound like somebody that has white privilege? We all generalize, we've all been hated on, and we're all a bunch of haters. But does this sound like someone that has white privilege? Someone that's been belittled, ostracized? I see black people get better opportunities than me. Going to college, joining the military. I see them getting better opportunity. I don't see them getting when they're putting out when they're working. They're like, oh yeah, you buddy, you want to go home 2 hours later and all that. I see them as managers and all that. Not only black people, I see them American Asians and immigrants. So basically, a lot of white people will tell you they don't experience white privilege, they don't know what to talk about. I am one of them. And then American cops say, we don't get many white people. Like, I didn't be on rights. Like, I didn't say anything back. I was like, who can really care? Like, you know. That was more of the thing in the past. Like, these days, people are like, why don't you get a job? Why don't you drive? Why don't you get a wife and children? No, and they don't send me 2 hours home. They actually call me when other people come in. Right now, I'm having a hard time finding a job. But this sounds like something that's privileged. And experience is privilege. I say everybody else gets better opportunity than me do. No, I'm not saying no one else goes to this. Like people like put them down and misunderstanding them and stuff like that. I think we all go through that. But it doesn't sound like something that's privileged. No, it doesn't. There's no such thing as white privilege that I experienced. I never experienced white privilege. Maybe some white people do. A lot of white people I talk to are like, no, we don't experience white privilege. I had nothing against being a white heterosexual male. But the only reason why I like blacks, Arabs, East Indians, Asian, Latina chicks better is because they're more physically attractive in my eyes. That's all it is. But I can tell I'm a proud white male.